It's a beautiful little baby that you guys see on my screen. Damn, man, Texas taking another L. This was completely avoidable. It is flat out inexcusable. And if you make an excuse to watch somebody's kid, but then don't actually watch somebody's kid and something bad happens, I think that deserves a life sentence in prison. But before we get to the details and I tell you what happened to this baby, and it's been happening a lot, especially with animals. You got to watch your kids with animals, whatever kids that you have, if you're babysitting or whatever the case is. But let's get into the details, okay? Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And I'm using law and crime right now for this article, so thank you very much. And also, again, I use illicit deeds quite a bit also, so I do want to take this time to give a shout out to my friend over there, okay? Now, a Texas woman is facing felony charges after she allegedly left her 13-year-old daughter home alone with her vicious dogs. And we call them vicious because I love dogs, so I'm so conflicted. I love dogs. I love pit bulls. But damn, man, like, they've just been causing a lot of havoc here. And it's probably been going on for longer than I even know. But in this story, we're going to have to excoriate pit bulls yet again. She left her vicious dogs with her 13-year-old daughter home alone with a little baby she was babysitting. And these dogs ended up tearing through her door. Let me see if I can show y'all that picture, because that might have went by too fast. I do not want y'all to miss how deranged these dogs are. Check this out. Let's put this on the big board. Let's blow this up. Ladies and gentlemen, can you guys see this on my screen? I don't know if I can make this any bigger or any clearer, right? Without messing it up too much. I want y'all to look at how torn up, disgusting that floor is. First and foremost, okay? Let's talk about the pure filth. Let's talk about the parents who decided to let this person babysit their kids when your house look a goddamn mess like this. This is sick. This floor looks like it came out of the Civil War. This floor looks like this home was built in freaking 1832. Why does the floor look this freaking disgusting? If you are that broke in this country that you can go out and literally work online, I have never seen so many online jobs in my life. There are multiple ways you could go out. If you have a vehicle, go drive Uber, go drive Lyft, go do something productive. But you shouldn't have a floor that looks like this. Like, God, dog. It's funny how people talk about, well, you know, they're strapped financially. I want y'all to take a look at this. It is expensive to have children. Don't use children as an excuse to live filthy and be nasty and disgusting and filthy. And then you want to turn around. Yes, I said the Civil War. I'm sorry. Look, I was telling Kurt Dog, shout out to my brother Kurt Dog. I don't know if he's watching. He's probably asleep right now. But I was telling him earlier, sometimes, you know what I've really done in the past 5 years? I've just gotten more comfortable, which is saying the first thing that comes to my mind. The first thing that comes to my mind is, God damn, look at that floor. I bet it smells like dead critters. Like it just looks like a lot of dead souls. Just, I don't know. Look like the ghost of Christmas past laid down and died on that floor. And you look how the dogs have literally chewed up the bottom of the door. And I'm going to tell you, I've kept dogs and I didn't even realize that they were that freaking destructive. I've kept pit bulls and I didn't realize they were that freaking destructive. Chewing through doors. Let's get back to the story, okay? She is facing felony charges after she left them alone, and these dogs ended up killing this 1-year-old baby that she was supposed to be babysitting. It happened on Monday in the San Antonio area, according to Bayer, and I thought it was Bexar. I've been saying Bexar for the longest time. I know y'all been telling me in the comment section, Jay, it's Bayer, not Bexar County. Okay? Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar, 36-year-old Heather Rodriguez, which is the lady that y'all just saw on the screen. It's a beautiful little baby. Beautiful little baby. Look at that. They're hauling these big, huge-ass dogs out the house. See if I can get her face up. This is her right here. We're going to talk about her and how ridiculously she is shaped here in a minute, okay? She's allegedly 36 years old, and she left her 13-year-old daughter and the boy she was caring for, and that little boy that died, his name is Jariah Johnson, Jiriah, Jariah Johnson, in a locked bedroom to keep the dogs away from them. But the dogs broke their way through the door and they started to attack this little boy. That dog looks crazy in the eyeballs. Let's go back. Let's take a look at that again. These dogs chewed through a wooden door or particle board, whatever the door is made out of. The little girl, 13 years old, was able to maintain control of the baby, but at that point, in what's being described to be as it was almost a tug of war for the baby between at least one of the dogs and the little girl. So basically, the 13-year-old girl was trying to prevent these dogs from attacking this baby. And she ended up getting the baby up in the air over her shoulders to try to protect the baby from the dogs. The dogs ended up jumping on top of her and just grabbed any piece of the baby that they could and just mauled this baby. Literally tore this baby apart. Y'all look at how that dog did that door. That door, I'm pretty sure, is stronger than that 1-year-old baby's flesh and skin. So look at what they did to that door and think about what they did to that little baby. Can I get that door back up there? Look at that. According to Salazar, which is Javier Salazar, that's the sheriff, the girl was able to get the boy into a bathroom, but the dogs broke through that door too. Y'all hear this? She got this baby into another room and the dogs ended up breaking through that door too. They wanted to kill this child. And they broke through that door and continued their attack. Finally, the girl barricaded themselves into another bedroom where she was able to call for help, but the boy suffered fatal injuries to his head and throat. It's heartbreaking to see anybody in that condition, let alone a 1-year-old boy, according to the sheriff. Paramedics rushed the boy to the hospital where he died on Monday, and actually, the initial reports, which you'll probably hear one of the news videos, the baby boy almost survived. He almost survived. The parents are heartbroken. This baby boy was close to surviving this, but his body couldn't handle it, and he ended up passing away. Sheriff Salazar noted that Rodriguez seemed more concerned with what was going on with the dogs rather than taking responsibility for her actions. He called the 13-year-old girl who tried protecting the baby a hero for trying to fight the dogs off. There had been previous complaints about the dogs. Let me say this again. There had been previous complaints about the dogs. In April, a man called deputies fearing for his safety because a pack of loose dogs were outside of his car and he was unable to get out of his car. Rodriguez was subsequently cited for having unleashed dogs. After the brutal attack of Jariah, Salazar called for all the dogs involved in the attack to be euthanized. They're going to put them down, and I think rightfully so. Animal control will ultimately make that call. Police initially arrested Rodriguez on serious bodily injury of a child by omission. On Tuesday, they filed additional charges of endangering a child and reckless injury to a child. She remains in the Barry County Jail. Meanwhile, co-workers of Jariah's mom started a GoFundMe. Do I have that GoFundMe information? Let me see if I can find it. So if you guys want to donate to the GoFundMe, I hope y'all know that I have never really been against GoFundMe and people donating to it. But what I'm saying is I wish people would see the value of life insurance. That's all I'm saying. Yep, here it is. Golly. Hold on, let me show you. Right here. If y'all want to look it up, we believe, according to the news, this is the correct GoFundMe. They're asking for $25,000. The person organizing is Nicole Bennett on behalf of Erica Castro, which I believe is the biological mother. $25,000. They have raised $22,000, so clearly they're going to get to that goal. So probably for hospital bills, burial, whatever it is. But I'm just saying, man, this is absolutely ridiculous. And I want to tell y'all this. How much do y'all think that this woman cares about this baby? And I'm going to say this to the parents who allow this woman to babysit your kids. First thing you got to do is you got to know the person that you got babysitting your kids. Now, I will tell y'all this. They were going to take their child to an actual babysitter, but I think they said the babysitter's place was closed. So they had to do something else. So they tried to trust a friend. First thing you got to do is get to know your friend, which I don't think they knew this woman very well. Then you have to inspect the house where your child is going to be living. If you would have seen this house and how freaking filthy it is, I would have never have let my child stay at this nasty, filthy, stinking, disgusting looking place. Right? And on top of that, having these big ass dogs and knowing that there was already complaints about these dogs. No way I'm leaving my child there. And on top of that, I want to show y'all something. Just because I am a jerk, I am the jerk of all jerks. If a woman don't care about the condition of her house, don't care about how dangerous her dogs are, and doesn't care about this big old water balloon hanging from her stomach, hanging down, that looks absolutely ridiculous. She don't care about her health and don't care about this big old thing that's hanging down like a freaking reverse backpack on the bottom of her fupa. That's on top of her fupa, matter of fact. If she don't care about her own wealth and her own shape, her own condition of her house, how can you expect her to care about children? Let me give you guys the fair usage. I only got a couple news videos. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If y'all would do me a favor, I know some people feel like I'm being harsh, but I'm just saying, man, we got to think better about these children, got to make better decisions to protect all of our babies. If you would do me a favor, if you're listening, please hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video in a true crime group. It all helps, okay, to share these stories. Let's get some justice for these babies, okay?
New tonight, we're learning more about the one-year-old boy mauled to death by his babysitter's pit bulls earlier this week. News 4 San Antonio's Robert Price shows us how the community is coming together to help give Jariah Johnson a proper burial.
These are pictures of Jariah Johnson less than 2 months ago at his first day of early preschool. A little boy, not even a year and a half old, now gone.
Utter disbelief of what has happened.
Mauled to death by these pit bulls Monday morning.
This is so preventable.
Attacked, deputies say, after his babysitter left him alone with her 13-year-old daughter and 3 pit bulls.
This didn't have to happen.
Pamela Allen is serving as a spokesperson for Jariah's parents, who are left with so many questions.
What should have been done to protect their child?
My understanding is that the parents knew that the babysitter had dogs, but they didn't know that the dogs were problematic.
The babysitter, 36-year-old Heather Rodriguez, was arrested right after the attack and is now charged with 3 felonies, one of them a first-degree felony.
Same level that murder would be.
The sheriff says Rodriguez knew her dogs were dangerous, had a history of getting out. Just look at the bottom of the bedroom door the dogs broke through, already chewed up and flimsy.
Oh my gosh, the fact that the dog owner didn't take the precautions when she had a little one in her home, that is devastating.
The babysitter's daughter doing everything she could to save Jariah.
She made every effort possible, even lifting that baby up over her head. But my understanding is the dog actually climbed onto something and was able to get the baby out of her hands.
The circumstances are horrific.
Now the family must plan Jariah's funeral, a GoFundMe already raising $20,000 to help them with expenses.
They're holding it together and they're being very brave, but they are just so grateful for our community that has reached out to them in this moment of tragedy.
The family says they plan to bury little Jariah in Mesquite near Dallas because that's where his great-grandmother is buried. As Jariah's mother put it, she doesn't want him to be alone. She wants him to be with family. I'm Robert Price reporting.
A family is in mourning after their 1-year-old baby died following a vicious dog attack in Northeast Bexar County. Jariah Johnson lost his tough fight late last night. Tonight, KENS 5 reporter Megan Dana spoke with the baby's parents.
And they say that this tragedy could have been avoided.
Yeah! He loved him some bubbles.
This video taken Sunday afternoon is one of the last memories Julian Johnson and Erica Castro have of their baby boy, 1-year-old Jariah Johnson.
His laugh is loud and powerful. His smile is big and precious. His eyes was her eyes, so I fell in love with him immediately.
Monday morning, Jariah was attacked by his babysitter's dogs. Deputies say his sitter, 36-year-old Heather Rodriguez, left him alone with her 13-year-old daughter. These parents say Rodriguez was a family friend they thought they could trust. They add Jariah normally would have been at preschool, but it was closed Monday. They say they had no idea Rodriguez had left the home.
Left my son with a 13-year-old girl. It's pure and utter belligerence. It's infuriating that's allowed, that she made that choice.
Jariah was rushed to the hospital where doctors worked on him all day, but by Monday night,
they called a code blue and he went into cardiac arrest. They tried to save him.
I mean, he gave every bit of him he could give. And it felt like he waited on us to be able to tell him goodbye.
These parents are feeling a pain they can't even describe, but say they're relying on each other to get through this difficult time. Johnson sharing this message to parents.
Kiss your babies and tell them you love them. Because I wish I could say it again. I wish I could say it 1,000 more times.
Really tough. That was our Megan Drana reporting there.
Yeah! He loved him some bubbles.
This video taken Sunday afternoon.
And we're hearing from the mother of a 1-year-old baby boy mauled in what's being called a savage dog attack.
Take a look. This is Jariah Johnson. He is currently in the ICU fighting for his life. Deputies say the attack happened at his babysitter's home when she was left alone with her 13-year-old daughter, that baby. Now, that sitter is now facing a charge tonight.
KENS 5 reporter Megan Dana talked to the boy's mother, who says she's still trying to process what happened.
A phone call no mother ever wants to hear, their child being rushed to the hospital. But for Erica Castro, that call became a reality Monday morning.
I've been shaking and been having panic attacks.
Her 1-year-old baby boy, Jariah Johnson, had been attacked by her babysitter's dogs at a home off Spruce Ridge Drive. Deputies walking that babysitter, 36-year-old Heather Rodriguez, away in handcuffs.
I wish she would have stayed like she said she would have instead of
going into work, like she got called into work.
Sheriff Javier Salazar says Rodriguez had left the baby alone with her 13-year-old daughter. He says the two were inside a bedroom with the door shut to stay away from the dogs.
That the door leading into that room was already damaged by the dogs at some point.
But the dogs still made their way in and started to attack both the baby and the teen girl. Salazar says the 13-year-old fought off the dogs for several minutes before running to get her phone to call 911.
It was almost a tug of war for the baby between at least one of the dogs and the little girl.
Both the sheriff and Castro crediting the teen for saving Jariah's life.
I almost forgot. If y'all would do me a favor, if y'all are listening, please hit that thumbs up. We want to have one thumb up for everybody watching. If y'all would, please, that'll help us out quite a bit. We are live. This is not pre-recorded. If y'all would do me a favor, please hit that thumbs up button. It'll help share this video. Super easy to do that. Thank you.
I think it was in no small part due to the heroic actions of this little girl.
I think that girl, because if it wasn't, she did her best.
Meanwhile, Castro says she knew the babysitter had dogs, but says they were always put away when her baby was around. While she wants accountability, her focus is on Jariah's recovery.
You were saying on Facebook he's a strong boy.
He is. He's fighting. He's fighting, for sure. Little by little, he's making progress.
He is fighting. That was Megan Reina reporting again. So Heather Rodriguez is facing an injury to a child by omission charge. And according to online records, she remains in the jail with a bond set at $100,000.
Breaking overnight, the medical examiner says that 1-year-old...
What y'all think? I think $100,000 sounds about right. And just so you know, I think they're trying to seek a murder charge. That's real hard to do because that has to be premeditated. I don't know how much they're going to get her. They got to give her a bundle of years in prison. They have to. Because this is flat out negligence that ends in gross death of a child. And it's Texas, super aggravated child abuse. They could get child abuse for this too, I believe.
Mauled by a pit bull has died. Investigators say he was mauled by the babysitter's animals. We were there as ACS took the 3 dogs off the property there at Spruce Ridge Drive near Kitty Hawk and Converse. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says Heather Rodriguez left the baby with her 13-year-old daughter when one of the pit bulls forced its way into a bedroom and attacked the baby.
13-year-old was able to maintain control of the baby, but at this point, and what's being described to me is it was almost a tug of war for the baby between at least one of the dogs and the little girl.
Now, investigators say other dogs at that home joined into the attack, biting the 13-year-old. She managed to break away and call 911, then came back to protect the baby from the dogs. These pictures from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, some are very graphic here. You see the dogs, where the dogs damaged the door. The sheriff says the 36-year-old had a citation for having unleashed dogs back in May when they wouldn't let a man out of his car. Now she's charged with injury to a child with serious bodily injury by omission. She could face more charges for the injuries to her daughter.
We have new information this morning on the area's latest dog attack, and this one has turned deadly, unfortunately. This morning we have confirmed that a 1-year-old little boy has died after being attacked by 3 dogs.
Sadly, the 1-year-old was attacked by his babysitter's dogs and was in the ICU for hours before he succumbed to his injuries. News 4's Christina De Leon is live this morning with more on this heartbreaking case. Christina.
Yeah, good morning, Danny. Good morning, everyone. Unfortunately, little Jariah Johnson died from his injuries after being attacked with 3 dogs inside the northeast side home. Here's what we know. This all happened off Spruce Ridge.
I didn't even know it was 3 dogs. Damn. So... And y'all are asking, are they going to put the dogs down? They pretty much don't have a choice. Yes. Causing the death of a human, every dog involved, every dog in that house is going to be put down more than likely. Like, what's the point of even saving them, to be real? I love dogs. I love animals. But can y'all give me a good reason? What's the use in saving them? They took a baby's life. They gotta go, period.
Drive near Kitty Hawk on the northeast side early Monday morning. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar saying that the 1-year-old Johnson was left with Heather Rodriguez. This is a mugshot just into our newsroom, and her 13-year-old daughter. Rodriguez left the home, leaving the infant with the teen. That's when one of the family's pit bulls forced its way into the bedroom and attacked the baby. The teen did try stopping the attack, even shielding the infant in the bathroom, then running to get a cell phone to call for some help. That's when the other dogs joined in on the attack, even turning on the 13-year-old as well. Now the dog's owner, Heather Rodriguez, will be facing charges. That's the mugshot you saw, including injury to a child with serious bodily injury by omission. In fact, we spoke to the sheriff during a press conference about more on Heather Rodriguez's arrest. Here's what he said.
She seemed to be more concerned with what was going on with those dogs than with the fact that her inaction, her omissions almost caused the death of a baby, and still might.
And unfortunately, that is exactly what happened in the moments after that press conference that happened yesterday. The sheriff says Rodriguez was cited actually as well for having unleashed dogs back in May and could actually face more upgraded charges now that that child has died. We'll of course continue to follow the story and let you know more details.
And should she face upgraded charges? Yes, I believe she should. Just whatever charge you can get her for, whether it be negligence, whether it be some type of manslaughter, some type of third-degree murder, whatever you want to call it. For her to leave, like, you can't. You just flat out can't. And it's just, for these dogs to be that vicious, because this little boy ain't did nothing to these dogs, for 3 dogs to go absolutely insane like that, the second that this woman leaves and eats through 2 or 3 doors, those dogs were rabid, insane freaking dogs, and they gotta go. And that woman, I don't know how many years will be appropriate, but just, I don't know. Because you can't bring this kid back. She definitely needs some time in prison. I'd love to know what they end up sentencing her to and how many charges that she's going to get. I don't know if we'll do an update on this, but to the parents, you know, I do send my thoughts and prayers out to you guys. I'm not trying to castigate you guys, but what I'm saying is I'm not talking to y'all like Tommy says. I'm talking through you guys to simply say that maybe you should have vetted this woman better as a person, vetted her as the fact that she already had complaints about her dog, vetted her as far as the nastiness and filthiness of her home before this even happened. Like, you could have just did a good old walkthrough. If they won't let you do a walkthrough, she won't let you do a walkthrough of her house, you definitely shouldn't have let your kids stay at this woman's house. So I'm basically saying is that there are things that are available to us that if we pay attention to those yellow and red flags, maybe we could limit or eliminate a lot of these situations. Is the solution to get rid of all pit bulls or dogs? I don't think that's the solution. We just have to be a hell of a lot more careful with our babies. It's just that simple. Okay? R.I.P. to Jariah, and our thoughts and prayers to the family. Leave a comment in the comment section. If I missed something, please let me know what you guys think. That's what comment section for. Let's have a talk about this, okay? Thank you.